Welcome to Classic Game Room. How about a cute puzzle game for your Game Boy starring a mole named Flappy? This is Flappy Special on the Game Boy. What makes Flappy so special? Well, this music for starters. Now that's an ill jam that puts you in a good mood. Flappy Special does not have laser beams, flamethrowers, explosions, or burning people with monsters and cutting them in half-itude. And it requires you to use that thing in your head, the brain. The brain. Sometimes it hurts to use it, but in this case, it's a lot of fun. Flappy Special is a puzzle game where your objective is to push a boulder from point A to point B. Seems pretty simple, but it's actually quite challenging and tons of fun. During the simplest levels, you basically just have to stack blocks in a certain way that you can push your boulder across them and drop it or slide it onto the warp gate thing that ends the level. And as you keep playing it, you quickly realize, damn, this is hard or I'm stupid. Possibly both. Yes, I've defeated a bunch of rocks and some angry mice, I think. Flappy Special, no relation to the paddle gearbox, is a Japanese exclusive. Like Starfy, he didn't want to leave Japan. The Flappy series started in the early to mid-1980s on Japanese home computers and the NES. This is a 1990 release for the Game Boy. That plays perfectly well on Western Gameboys and the Super Game Boy. There's a password system, so after you complete a level, you just write that down and you can continue your game later on. And while it's not the most exciting game to feature in a video review, what without the burning people with monsters and cutting them in half-itude and all, by watching the footage, I think you'll clearly get a sense of how the game is played. It's not complicated, it's just tricky, which may not be as apparent when I'm showing footage from levels I've figured out. There's a lot of trial and error, and you have to play them pretty much perfectly, sliding rocks into position in just a way that you can move your precious super boulder, or whatever that is, through the level without getting stuck. And if you do get stuck, you hit the select button where Flappy kills himself. As well as facing brain-busting challenges, you've also got enemies trying to eat Flappy. Or poison him, or at least knock him out and then eat him later. There's two ways that you can deal with these enemies. You can throw mushrooms at them, which stuns them, or crush them beneath boulders. If you're really clever, you'll combine the two, stun them, push them underneath the boulder, and then flatten them. Which makes me feel like a badass, like Dig Dug. So here I just stunned the horrible bird hawk bat thing. I'm going to slide the super boulder beneath it and then smash it while using the two boulders in a boulder train. And I'm not sure exactly how this works, I don't have the instructions, but the score seems to only apply to each level individually. Rock on! Now you'll have to learn to use a lot of half-boulder movements in Flappy Special. It's easy to get your super boulder pinned against a wall where Flappy can't get to it, because he can't pull anything. Flappy can only push. Now you're able to destroy the other rocks by crushing them or sliding them into something and breaking them. Flappy Special was sent to Classic Game Room by our friend Osamu in Japan. It finally escaped and made it to the West. Congratulations! And a big thank you to Osamu. I've enjoyed the game a lot, and I'll highly recommend it if you enjoy puzzle games, particularly on the Game Boy because it looks simple but it plays really well, and there's a ton of levels, lots of levels. It's a bigger game than you might think. Flappy Special.